Greetings, YouTube. Another Saturday, another bunch of deals. And today I'm wearing my official Atomic Robo shirt my friend Scott Wagner designed. So we hit some yard sales, Goodwill, and a gaming store today. And one of the things we found is a bunch of music. Jim Croce, the greatest hits. Blind Melon. Best of Blondie. Paul Simon's greatest hits. Alice in Chains. Kenny Wade Shepherd Band. A 2-CD Queen Live Killers album. The All American Rejects. That was my wife picked that one out. John Mayer, she picked that one out as well. And Green Day Greatest Hits. What I found interesting is the people that were selling these particular albums, these CDs, they had them set up with different prices. And apparently the prices were set up based on how much they personally valued the songs, the albums. Because they had one which was the soundtrack of The Bodyguard for $0.25. And the Green Day one was $2. And a bunch of other things were like 50 cents, $1. So they were making the judgment call on what they considered to be good albums. I thought that was kind of funny. We have The Dark Knight, Batman. Now I've got both of these. So I think the original Batman I've got with the one with Christian Bale, I think that's widescreen. This is only full screen, but for $2, can't really lose. Picked up a copy of Coraline, which my wife and I enjoyed the movie. She wanted to read the book. Got it at Goodwill for 99 cents, I think it was. We have Spook, Science Tackles the Afterlife. Now this author wrote a book, her name's Mary Roach, called Stiff. And Stiff was, essentially it was about the life of cadavers, of what happens to cadavers, how they're used, the processes that they go through on the way to the grave or the crematorium. And it was very good. It was very entertaining. I read it a couple of years ago. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. We have Ultimate Spider-Man, the Learning Curve Perfect Bound for $1. I'll probably just read this and then recycle it because don't need to keep that around for any length of time. And we have a little whiteboard which I purchased so that we can play Pictionary. I've actually recently picked up the card deck from the game at a yard sale for $1. And the rules, I didn't need the rest of the game because the rest of the game is a whiteboard and markers, and some counters. I can make counters out of quarters, or dice or something. So this lets us invest for $1.25 and some dry erase markers. We can play Pictionary, which is kind of a cool game. And the last thing I got today was I picked up Ravenloft D20 campaign setting and the Denizens of Darkness monster manual. Now these were uber cheap. They were $15 a piece, which is half the original cover price. And I actually had to debate whether I wanted to spend the money on these. I wanted the books, but $30 is $30. And the reason I purchased them is that I have been looking for this Ravenloft setting online for a couple of months now, and the cheapest price I could find was like $60 because it's out of print and people like it, and so there's the market value's out there. The guy who had this at his store didn't know what he had, and I took advantage of that fact. And but of course it was a very much gaming store experience. He was having some kind of little convention going on. They had cakes with miniature battle logos on them, and he's literally stuffing his face with cake, ignoring his register because I'm standing in front of the register because I need to talk to him about how much he wants for them and I want to purchase them, and he's ignoring me because he's shoving cake into his face. So it very much was a gaming store experience. I asked someone walking past me, I said, "Who's the owner?" I didn't know who the guy was. And he points to a group of 3 guys and he says, "It's the big guy over there in the striped shirt." Now, in the group of people he was talking about, the owner was the smallest one. So, big guy in a striped shirt wasn't necessarily all that helpful. Striped shirt part, yes, but there were a whole lot of really big miniature players at this store today. It was very much a running of the fat beards, as they say. But like I said, another Saturday, some more bargains.